You ever wonder what makes certain people tick? You know, the ones who just seem unstoppable? Well, to really get a handle on that kind of person, we've got to look at a really powerful symbol from nature, the ram.
Oh, you totally know the type, right? That person who just charges headfirst into any challenge, full of this crazy, unstoppable energy and confidence. They're the first one to raise their hand, the first to jump in, and definitely the first to tell you exactly what they're thinking.
So that exact personality, it's perfectly summed up by the zodiac sign Mesha Rashi. And the secret to unlocking everything about this sign, all its complexities, it all comes down to its symbol, the ram. If we can understand the spirit of the animal, we can understand the person.
All right, let's break this down. First up, we're talking about the warrior's instinct. This is all about that confrontational, dominant, and super protective nature that you see in a ram. And it's that same instinct that really shapes the Mesha Rashi personality.
It's like a direct copy-paste from the animal kingdom to human behavior. You see, rams will literally butt heads to figure out who's boss. For a Mesha Rashi person, that same instinct shows up as this incredible competitiveness. It's this deep-down need to be number one, to lead the pack, and yeah, to win.
And that leadership style, it comes straight from nature. The head ram is the one that physically plows the way forward for the rest of the flock. It's a real act of pioneering. And that's exactly what you see in Mesha Rashi, that natural pull to get to the front, take charge, and earn respect by doing, not just talking.
But you know, this warrior energy isn't just about winning. It's also about protection. A ram is incredibly territorial. It'll defend its group without even thinking about it. And for someone with Mesha Rashi, their family, their loved ones, that's their flock. They have this incredibly strong protective instinct, and they will go to the mat for them, no questions asked.
So, when you put it all together, this warrior's instinct is really the whole package. You've got the courage to face anything, that competitive drive, that fierce protective instinct, and of course, that natural-born ability to lead.
Okay, so building right on top of that warrior instinct is our next big idea, an unstoppable force. And this is all about that raw forward momentum, that energy that just can't be held back, which you see in both the animal and the sign. Think about it. A ram doesn't sneak around the side or come up with a clever plan. Nope, it just charges head on. And that is the perfect picture of how Mesha Rashi tackles problems. It's a head-first approach, always. Their communication is just as direct, sometimes even blunt, because their gut reaction is to just deal with things right now. And that directness comes with some serious speed. A ram's reaction time? It's instant. And you see that exact same thing in the impulsive nature of Mesha folks. They're wired to make snap decisions, to act on instinct, and, let's be honest, they often leap before they look. They act before they can overthink it. So what's powering all this action? It's what looks like a 24/7 bottomless pit of energy. Rams are just these muscular, agile creatures that are always on the move. And that translates into more than just being mentally sharp. We're talking about a deep, physical vitality. This restless energy that just has to be doing something, moving, working, exploring. So to wrap this part up, this unstoppable force is really a mix of being headstrong and direct, having tons of physical energy, and letting it all out through these super quick, impulsive reactions. And that brings us to our third and final piece of the puzzle, the pioneering spirit. This is where we look at that self-reliant, adventurous, and just plain tough nature that lets the ram survive and even thrive in some pretty harsh places. The big idea here is self-reliance. Yeah, rams hang out in groups, but they are more than capable of making it on their own, just trusting their gut. And that translates into this really powerful independence in Mesha Rashi. They've got this burning desire to blaze their own trail, to be the one who starts something new, to be that first mover.
And that adventurous spirit, it comes from the ram being this incredible mountain animal, totally fearless as it navigates these wild, unknown places. For a Mesha person, life is that mountain range. They just have this built-in love for adventure, and they're more than willing to take a few risks just to see what's over the next ridge.
But maybe the most incredible trait of all is their resilience. You know, a ram gets knocked down, it gets right back up. And this isn't just about being stubborn. It's a deep-seated survival instinct. It's that never-say-die attitude that just keeps them going, keeps them fighting, no matter how tough things get.
So, this whole pioneering spirit is really this amazing combination of fierce independence, a love of adventure and risk, and a fighting spirit that just won't quit. Okay, so we've looked at the three big pillars. Now let's pull it all together and see what the complete ram spirit looks like. So you've got the warrior, That's the courage, the competitiveness, the protective leader. Then there's the unstoppable force, pure high energy, direct, impulsive. And finally, the pioneer, independent, adventurous, and so resilient. They're three different aspects, but they all spring from the very same source.
So what's the big takeaway here? At its heart, the Ram spirit is this really powerful mix of three things: deep down courage, raw, unstoppable energy, and a fierce independence that you just can't shake.
And that leaves us with one last question to chew on. Now that you kind of have the blueprint, the warrior's courage, the unstoppable energy, the pioneer's resilience, where do you see this spirit out there in the world? Or maybe a little closer to home, do you see any of it in yourself?